Hey guys, it's Andrew Pecoraro with Peck's Metal Picks, and today I'm going to be talking about Volume's brand new album called Happier. First, I'll share a couple thoughts that I had while I was reviewing it, and then we'll watch the music videos for Bend and Get Enough. As you can see, I have these lights behind me, and those are definitely going to boost my reviewing abilities by like 25%, so buckle up because this is going to be a good one. So look, there's two things that you need to know about Volumes to understand this album. The first is that Volumes has gone through a couple major lineup changes in the last couple of years, and the second is that Volumes has always had two vocalists. They had Michael Barr and Gus Farias until Michael Barr left the band in 2015. He was replaced by Mike Terry, who is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I just have to say that. I think Mike Terry is the best thing that has ever happened to Volumes, and I just love him in this band. Then, in 2019, the other vocalist, Gus Farias, got kicked out of the band and was replaced by Michael Barr, the vocalist that left in 2015. The other big lineup change that happened is in 2020, Diego Farias died. He was the lead guitarist, which was an absolutely huge blow to the band. So I mentioned Gus Farias and Diego Farias no longer being a part of the band. They were brothers, and they were also founding members of the band. Members who have been in there since day one, right? Like they have helped the band evolve. They've influenced the direction of the band's music. They were core members. So, the question that has to be in the back of everybody's mind when two very essential members are no longer part of the band, you have to ask yourself, is Volumes going to be able to live up to the hype? Is their sound going to suffer without these two very core members? Are they going to be able to recreate that magic? And I can say right at the outset, they definitely succeeded here. This album is great. I think fans of Volumes from pretty much any time period can find something that they enjoy here. And so there, they were very successful. The other thing that I have to say, and this is kind of my own personal preference, is I always preferred Michael Barr and his vocals over Gus's vocals. So the fact that we have Mike Terry in the band and then Michael Barr basically replaced Gus was a huge upgrade for me, right? Like hearing Michael Barr and Mike Terry together, that's like the dream team. That's like a fantasy becoming reality of just like this duo that is unstoppable. And so for me, that was a pretty clear upgrade. And I kind of don't want to kick Gus while he's down, but a couple years ago I did a Twitter poll and asked my followers who they preferred between Michael Barr and Gus. And 72% of people said that they preferred Michael, 28% of people said that they preferred Gus. And so I think for a large part of the Volumes fan base, the fact that Michael essentially replaced Gus is also going to be a big upgrade in their minds. So, of course, related to that, I think this is one of the strongest vocal performances that Volumes has ever had. I think these two together are very, very good. So, of course, when a band goes through a big lineup change like that, you have to make some comparisons. And the first comparison is this album with the last album that they released, and that was called Different Animals. And I just want to make it clear that I loved Different Animals. It ranked extremely highly on my list at the end of the year for the year that it came out. I still go back and listen to it pretty often because I really, really do enjoy it. That being said, Happier is definitely different than Different Animals, okay? It has less rap and hip hop and pop influences, less Los Angeles culture and like street culture influences, and it's definitely more in the metalcore camp side of things. I think it's also probably a bit heavier in general than how the band was on Different Animals. At the same time, though, like it's easy to look at Different Animals and, I look at the song that has Puya's rap section in it. I don't think that that aged very well. I think it's hard in general to mix rap and metalcore. I think Volumes did the best that they could, and, it is what it is. So I'm glad that the band didn't try to do those types of things on this new album. I think what they did do was successfully identify the parts of Different Animals that were great and that fans liked, and helped build the sound and progress their music. I think they did a great job taking those and bringing them and incorporating them into Happier, and then merging it with the band's sort of more classic sound. And so you look at a song like Bend, and Bend, is still the band exploring its softer side, but it has some really great grooves in it and a fewer, like little heavier notes to it to keep things interesting. And that to me, I really enjoyed because it was kind of like the band being able to keep those melodic sensibilities and transfer them in sort of a new, more mature way onto this album. Malevolent, though, I have to talk about Malevolent because the grooves on that track are ridiculous, okay? Any fan of Volumes that's been listening to them for a while is going to remember Via. For me, Via is one of my all time favorite Volumes albums, and Malevolent reminds me of Via quite a bit. There are definitely Via vibes on that song and on a couple others throughout the album, but that one especially made me think. Like, I looked at the album art and I was like, oh my god, that color scheme kind of looks like the Via color scheme. And I don't know if the band did that on purpose or if it's just a coincidence, but there definitely are some connections between this album and Via, which any longtime Volumes fan is going to absolutely love to see that. I wanted to highlight Get Enough. It is kind of similar to what they were doing on Different Animals, but it's more of a hybrid of that sound and their more metalcore type of sound. And I think that they did a great job merging those together. Obviously, have to talk about Man on Fire. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album. It is heavy all the way through. Love to see that. The grooves are ridiculous and they're so much fun. And about a minute in, I think, there's these screams that I don't think we've ever heard from Volumes before, and I love that. I would love to see more vocal variability. I love that type of variety, and I hope to see a little bit more of it from these guys in the future. The last track I wanted to highlight was See You Again. It's another one of my favorites. Really, the main reason is I like how Michael Barr and Mike Terry's vocals feed off of each other, and I think that they have the perfect sound for this, like, introspective, in your feels type of song. The last thing that I wanted to say, and this isn't even a real complaint, but I hope that we get some more soaring vocal melodies in the future. Like I said, the band has moved a little bit more into the metalcore realm with this album, and with that, there are some trade offs, of course. It's a little bit harder to make those softer songs and those softer sections shine. But at the same time, they did do it very well in songs like Into You. Just this kind of like upbeat, uplifting passage with the singing, and I'd love to see more of that. That was something from Different Animals that I also really enjoyed, and a little bit more of that can never hurt. So overall, wrapping up, yeah, this album very good. I think the vocals are at an all-time high here. Very excited to see where the band goes from here because this is kind of like their first new page with this new group. This is kind of like the band's new chapter of exploring, what they're going to be capable of here. And, because it's their first one, I think that they're only going to improve from here. And so that makes me more excited for their next material. With that, though, I think we are ready to jump into these music videos. So we're going to start off with Get Enough. And this one right away, like I said, it's kind of a hybrid of the sounds that they had on different animals and their more metalcore oriented style. The thing I really like about this one is it's heavy, right? But it's not like in your face or over the top. It's kind of this like subdued, subtle type of heaviness. And then you get these singing sections. And it's just such a good combination the way that they do that. I just laugh seeing this music video of Mike pulling the bag on the highway. Like, he must have got some funny looks from people driving by. I think it's this part right here. Listen, it reminds me of Issues a lot. It's kind of like a funky bass line or something. Like, this is one of the things that I really like to have different animals, was kind of this like more upbeat, fun type of song. And I'm glad that they were able to incorporate that. It wasn't completely lost. Really fun. Really like that one. So next we're going to go into Bend, which is one of the softer songs on the album, but the more I listen to it, the more it grows on me. And I think it's kind of like what I've talked about in the past, where they did a good job of, even though the vocals are soft pretty much the entire time, it's the instruments in this one that really shine for me. And like the grooves, they keep it interesting. And they kind of become like the anchor, like the bass line of the song, so that the vocals can experiment a little bit more. This chorus is just so much fun. It's kind of like upbeat and bouncy. This is like such a good middle of the set song, to kind of wind things down before you pick them back up again and just like mix things up. I'm surprised that I like this one as much as I do.
Hold my breath and tell you that you're right. Can't fake another feeling when you feed me with your antidote. Tell me that I'm really on your mind. Tell me that I'm really not just living in your light alone. This time it's too late.
I like those heavy screams getting layered in the background right before they drop back into the chorus again.
Still wishing that you'd come back someday. Everything that you say to me won't bend. Over and over again. I wasn't worth it. It didn't work. We'll never make it past this moment. Lost in a memory. It never ends. You make me break, but I won't bend. I wasn't worth it. It didn't work. We'll never make it past this moment. Lost in a memory.
I love Mike Tierna's vocals so much, dude. This guy is so good.
This time it's too late. You tell me that it's your mistake, but everything that you say to me won't bend. Over and over again, you run and I'll stay. Still wishing that you'd come back someday. Everything that you say to me won't bend. Over and over again. Over and over again.
So good. Like I said, I can't believe I like that one as much as I do, but it grows on me with each listen. Alright guys, that is it for me. I hope you liked this review, and, hope to do these about once a week. And so, thanks a lot for taking the time to watch this with me, and make sure you check out this band and this album, especially if you haven't heard of them before. Like I said, highly recommend their last album too. Highly recommend Via, which is, I don't even know, like 2011 maybe? That's my best guess, but these guys have had a great career, and this is just another one to add to the list. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.